Hello everybody, welcome to the channel, welcome to my garden. My name is Paul and this is It's a Camping Thing, as you probably are well aware of when you clicked on the channel. Yes, in this video you're going to be looking at the OEX Phoxx 1v2, which I've got right here. This is a one-person tent. If you've never seen this tent before, just think of a nylon coffin. It really is that simple. It is a tiny, tiny tent, and it is, believe me, a one-person tent. Now, I've had this tent in my possession for a few months now. I purchased it not long just before Christmas. I set it up once. I did a video, which you can see here. I put a card up there for you. And yeah, I've not actually slept out in it yet, so I thought I would do that tonight. So this weekend, it's Saturday, I'm going to be doing two videos. Now, one where you see me set this up very briefly, and then you see me hopefully sleep out in it tonight. And this video, which is going to be a more in-depth look of how I set this tent up. Yeah, so this is how I'm going to be setting up the OEX Phoxx 1v2. Now, there's going to be a lot of videos on this channel of me in my garden, and there's a perfectly good reason for that. Sadly, my dog Buster passed away about 5 weeks ago, and it's been a really, really traumatic and sad time for us all. However, we have decided as a family that we would like to adopt another dog. So at the moment, I'm not going to a campsite, I'm not going wild camping, and I'm trying to remain at home so I can search for a dog to adopt. And for that, I need to be close to my computer so I can write out an adoption form, an application form for all that. And that is really, really important. So I'm doing a little bit of a compromise where at the moment, I'm not going to campsites, I'm not going wild camping. And sadly, unfortunately, I'm going to have to be doing a lot of my campsite camping videos here in my garden. So just imagine I'm at a campsite and there's caravans or cars and not a shed and a tree behind me and that. So just use a little bit of imagination if you would, please. As I say, we are on the lookout for another dog. We know exactly what we're on the lookout for. Something hopefully close to what Buster was, and just been watching videos of him actually on YouTube on my channel. And he was a special dog. He was a lovely dog. But we move onwards and forwards and we look to the future. So without further ado, time to get this tent set up. Right, time to set the tent up, and I think it's going to be about here. I think I'm going to do it right about here. Seems about as good a place as any. Oh, peg. That's from the nature hike Opalis 3, which I had out in a recent video. Great little tent, and yeah, I missed that one. Easily done. So, OEX Phoxx 1v2. Let's have a look. I can't really remember if you even get pegs with this. I do like the colour. The colour is very good for blending in. I've got I've actually got two Vango Banshee 200 and 300s, and they're a little bit luminous. They're from 2000. They have since changed the colour. And so that's the fly, and this is the inner. I say I can't even remember if you actually get pegs with this. I'm sure you get pegs with it. Yeah, you definitely get pegs with it. So let's have a look at this bad boy. Now this is definitely a one-person tent. It comes with two poles that I do remember, and it's very similar in a way to the Vango Banshee 200. However, there is only one door with this, and that's the front pole. That's tiny. That's really, really tiny. Set that to one side. So that's going to be the front. No real need to colour code these, is there? I think, no, they're not colour coded. That's obviously going to be the rear, because that's longer. And what I do like about this over the Vango Banshee is a little bit longer. Downside of this one is the fact that you have to put the inner up first, so it's pouring down with rain. You got a bit of a problem there. You don't want to get the inner soaking wet. I'm going to see, I left the door open. It's a little bit longer, which I do like. I'm going to see which way it is. I think it looks like that. There we go. It's narrower. It's narrower than the Vango Banshee 200. I think the Vango Banshee 200 is probably the closest to it. I don't like those exhausts. You know those exhausts that go pop, pop? Why? Why? Pop that in there. Set that up. Well, that's tight. I mean, really tight. Sometimes you wonder if you've actually got it in the right hole. Yeah, it's really tight. Oh, it is. Little metal eyelet. That's tight. So there we go. Get some pegs next. Pull this out. Two more pegs at the front. Ooh, ground's a little bit harder there. There we go. And then another one at the front. Then we've got a couple of little clamps at the front. That's rock solid. And then coming around to this way, we've got a couple of more clamps either side. That's really, really taut. So there we are, the OEX Phoxx 1 V2, the inner is now all set up. Now you could sleep in this as it is. However, it's not going to be waterproof by any stretch of the imagination. There is a huge mesh area here at the rear of the tent for breathability and a smaller one here at the front. So if you sleep in this, one, you're not going to have any privacy because you can see right through it. And also as well, it's going to be waterlogged in a matter of minutes if it starts to rain. So we need to get the fly thrown over the tent as quickly as possible if that rain does come along. Now, sadly, it's not a tent where you can set this tent up all as one. You have to set the inner up first and then throw the fly over the top. And the reason for that is you need the poles in place to tie it onto. And that's the drawback. It is a nice long tent and there are some nice features with this tent, but sadly, the one thing I don't like about this tent is that you have to put the inner up and then throw the outer up over the top. But on a plus point, if you know it's going to be a hot, balmy night and you're not too bothered about privacy, no chance of any rain, you could effectively sleep in this tent as it is right now. Right, time to put the fly on. I'm trying to work out which is the front and which is the back. And again, like I say, if it was pouring down with rain, yeah. Now, this is the front, and there's a couple of little ties on the inside, so we need to tie these on. This was a mistake that I made last time I didn't do this, and it kind of does help, so I need to tie that on, because then the guide ropes are actually attached to the fly sheet, or the outer. What I do is put that way around. It's nice to see that it is doubly sewn and taped seams as well. So that should help with being waterproof. Tie that on to there, on there, and then work your way to the back. And again, I believe it's beginning to spit a rain, which is unfortunate, but also, how's my tying skills? There we go. Put that in a little bow. Yeah, it's definitely beginning to spit a rain. So if this was going to be getting any worse, then I'd want to get this on double quick. I'll tie that on. That's that side. And then I've got this one here. And the reason why I'm tying this on, as I say, is because the guide ropes are attached to the outer. So by making sure that this is tied on, I'm actually using better effect of the guide ropes. So tie that on. Can you imagine if it was pouring down with rain? Yeah. Downside of this. And we pull that over, and now at least, to some extent, the tent is going to be waterproof. Now, we need to clamp. We've got a little buckle here. That clamps into place and just clips in. Which is a nice little feature. It's a case of just pulling these out. Just put these in loosely for now. Yeah. Seem to have a guide rope tangle. Seems about right. Some more around the side. Bring that a bit more. Job done. Ventilation's open. As you can see, it is a very low profile tent, very good for discreet camping, wild camping. Now, I'm going to be sleeping out in this tent tonight, and I'm going to give you a better opinion of this tent after I've slept out in it tonight in a separate video. I'll put a link at the end of this video for that. On this video, as I said earlier, I just want to do a setup and give you how it's set up, how it goes up. There's definitely limitations to this tent. It is a one-person tent, and the inner has to go up, and then you put the outer over, or the fly. And if it's going to be pouring down with rain, there's definitely disadvantages. For that, the Van Gogh Banshee 200 or 300 is definitely the better option, because they go all up as one. This one, you've also only got one door. So if you can imagine where your feet are at the lower end of the tent, then on your right-hand side is where the door is. There is no door or entrance and exit on this side of the tent. And that's something to bear in mind if you've got a left side opening sleeping bag. You want to be able to get in and easier. So you need your sleeping bag to open from the right-hand side, because the door is on the right-hand side. And it's very difficult when your sleeping bag opens from one end, but the door, the only door that you've got, opens from the other. That is something very much to bear in mind. You're very limited on space. As I said to it earlier, it's a little bit like a nylon coffin. There is literally no room in there whatsoever. So you may be able to get a backpack in there. There is a vestibule on the right hand side, but that's it. You are very, very limited as to what kit you can get in there. Now, if it's pouring down rain, the last thing you want to do is leave your backpack or your boots outside. You need to keep them in the dry with you. So this definitely got its limitations, but also as well, it's very discreet. If you're going to be going stealth camping, then it's very low profile. It blends in well with the grass, and I would imagine the surrounding area as well, depending on where you're going camping. So it's definitely got its advantages, but the disadvantages, it's very, very small on space. So there we go. I'm going to sleep out in here tonight. I said I'll do that in another video, but if you found this video in any way helpful, please consider liking, leaving a comment, and subscribing to the channel, and clicking on that little bell icon to be notified for all future video releases. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you in another video soon. Take care. Hello everybody, welcome to the channel. My name is Paul. No, that sounded pants. Keep doing that all the time. Right, time to set this OEX Phoxx 1 V2 up now, which sounds very robotic. We're going to be looking at the OEX Phoxx 1 version 2. It's not version 2, is it? It's V2. Yes. Yes. This is a video about the OEX Phoxx 1 version 2. No, why do I keep saying version? Version, it doesn't say version, it says V. I don't know what the V stands for. I will be doing two videos simultaneously. So in this video, you can see me set this tent up very briefly, where I've edited it through, and then you'll see me sleep out in it, and then in it. I'm not drunk. Hello, I'm not drunk.